We are live. All right, it's recording. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dudes and dudettes? Welcome to another episode of your potentially favorite Nigerian podcast. Bear with me, your host, General Prime. Right, I got that word perfectly right this time around. Yeah, so I hope everybody's chill. I hope everybody like had a restful weekend, because what other kind of weekend um is a young adult ideally supposed to have, right? So I hope everybody had a restful weekend. We are still um we are still on the whole this saga this saga about Nigeria's election continues, man. Like the whole drama is still going on. There was supposed to be the governorship election yesterday, which was the 11th, but it's been postponed to like the 18th because shit is going on. INEC is under scrutiny right now, and they've been taken to court. Peter Obi is still like fighting the battle in court. Nigerians are still apprehensive towards what's going on in Nigeria. Everybody's just like fucked up right now. Everything is just so fucking crazy right now. Nobody, as in, everything is just messed up, bruv. Everything is fucked up right now, man. The saga in Nigeria is still continuing. As in, like I always say, man, reality is stranger than fiction. Like I always say, bro, reality is fucking stranger than fiction. The whole world is crazy right now. I just saw today that Silicon Valley Bank crashed. Like it was so fucking, bro, Silicon Valley Bank crashed, and people, imagine people lining outside. Imagine people in America lining outside. Something that frequently happens in Nigeria, right? Something that frequently happens in third world countries or countries that have turned into failed states. Imagine people lining up in a whole America, lining up in banks to like take their money. This is what happens in China, right? This is when like the Chinese government locks people's money, and like if you're not vaccinated, or if you don't have like the vaccination card, because like now, for you know how China is a surveillance state now. So if you're not and there are cameras everywhere in fucking China, like if you're not vaccinated, if you don't like take the vaccine and stuff, your bank account will be locked, and you will not be able to like take the train. You cannot be able to travel. You cannot be able to buy bread to chow. This is what is happening. Not that it's as extreme as it is in China, but this is what is panning out to be. This is how it's panning out to be in America now. Like, and it like banks are down, bro. So there's this meme I saw online. Like, what is the point of even having a bank account? Like, imagine we are millennials, right? So imagine having like multiple what's it called? Multiple inflation, multiple recessions in our lifetime. Like this is something that's supposed to happen. Recession, yeah, is a natural thing, right? As there are more goods and there are more services that keep sprouting and keeps getting created at some point in time, and so many variables, right? At some point in time there is going to be a recession, right? So that's like a given. But for it to have happened like multiple times in one lifetime already, it's telling, because that's unnatural. This one is unnatural. Like everything is getting see, everything is getting unnecessarily expensive. I like this. What's the point of you? What's the point of it getting this much expensive? What's the point of you going to buy something at one point in time in one day, and then you feel like you want to go and get it again on the same day, and then you go back to the store and the price has changed? Like, how fucked up is that? Like, what? How does that even make any sense? So the whole world now is fucked up. Everybody is just like messed up. Everything is just scattered. It's like there is no control. There's just chaos, and this chaos is like a is it a prerequisite to something more that is coming? It's like, if how messed up is it that you cannot point to one. Imagine that there was a shooting in Germany, like there was a mass shooting in Germany. Just think of how fucked up that is. Somewhere that um is not as somewhere that is relatively peaceful and isn't as chaotic as like the rest of the world, like this, like the quintessential European country, right? There was a mass shooting there earlier this last week. So you can there's nowhere in this world now there's nowhere in this world now that you can point to that there is some semblance of like peace or everything. Probably maybe Singapore, because like that has always been one of the countries that I want to visit because of how like they're just doing everything in their power to make sure that the country moves forward and like people are happy and people are productive. Because I mean, that's the only country I can think of right now. I don't know how much what I'm saying currently right now is true, but I think Singapore is the only place that I can point to that things are just sort of okay. But apart from that, I don't think that there's any other country that someone can point to and there's peace going on. Like there is everybody's just chill, everything just look at somewhere like America, man. As in America is like is just on the verge of destruction. As in, there is this. I was reading. I mean, not I was reading. Everybody has read Plato's The Republic, right? I'm sure by now everybody has read that book. So, and you all know about. There's this analogy that he gave. Sorry, there's this analogy in the book that Socrates gave about children that are born with different elements in them, like gold, silver, bronze. And so the children that are born with gold elements in them are the ones that are like leaders. They're like the most intelligent. Like they have like they are creative. They are like intellectuals, you know, like philosophers and stuff. And so they're the ones that are supposed to be the lawmakers and rulers and stuff. And then children that are born with like the silver elements are supposed to be like businessmen, traders, CEOs, all this kind of stuff, that not necessarily rulers, but um things that not that don't quite equate to like rulers of like a city or like let's just say business people, like the everyday person, people that are just productive and stuff. And then people that are born with like the bronze elements in them are like laborers and like workers. You understand what I'm saying now? So in the book he was talking about how um a city dies, or a city heads for destruction, or like it's on the highway to destruction if the people that have the bronze element are the rulers. Do you understand? Like that's just basically what he was trying to say. And I saw a lot of sense in it. Like it makes a considerable amount of sense, because if you think about it, right, the leaders, the so-called leaders that we have today, not even only like in America, not like most of the places in the world. I'm going to use Nigeria as a key example because obviously I'm Nigerian, and there is like a I'm not even going to say Hollywood. This one has passed Hollywood. In fact, a Nollywood level kind of dramatic event going on in Nigeria, based on the Nigerian election. So, just look at all the leaders, like all the leaders that in countries right now, so-called leaders. It doesn't seem, or it doesn't look like people the so-called leaders know what they're doing. Like there's a part even in the book where he said that, where Socrates said that the people who are most suitable for the job of leading a city or an empire are the people who should be people who are the most reluctant to do the job. Which means that people who clamor for power, people who want to be president by all means, people who want to be like in positions of power by all means, um, do not have like do not have positive, or should I say good motives in mind. They just want to be in that position of power to just be to just so that it would be like so that it would be that they're in positions of power. Like they just like the idea of being in power, and so that they can use it to oppress, they can use it to control, they can use it to amass themselves, they can use it to amass themselves with wealth, they can use it to like cause destruction, cause havoc, cause chaos. You understand? But the people who really want to, the people who are supposed that we're that the people who are supposed to be in power should be people who are reluctant to be in power. Like there's something that okay, like for example now in Joe Rogan's podcast, right? There's something that he usually talks about. He usually says that intelligent people don't want to be in power. They don't want to be president. They don't want to be politicians. Do you understand? Intelligent people, they would rather be CEOs of companies. They would rather be like businessmen. They would rather be like hedge fund managers. Do you understand? Hedge fund CEOs. They would rather work in Silicon Valley. They would rather like be fucking CEOs of companies, right? That's basically what he said. But people who are not intelligent, those are the ones that want to like, those are the ones that want to be president. Those are the ones that want to be politicians, and they want to be fucking lawyers, and then from there, like they just want to rule. Do you understand? They just want to be in control. They're just that narcissistic. That's just it. So um so if you, it speaks truth, it speaks truth to the fact that if you look at all the leaders that we have right now, none of them have sense. Literally none of them. I don't know if you guys have seen this movie that came out last year, Don't Look Up, right? So there is this part in the movie where they were talking where Jennifer Lawrence's character was talking about how the the leaders in as in we know as if you've seen the movie, right? It's about, I don't know, I don't want to spoil it for people, but I'm sure most people, I mean, that was a very nice movie now, so why wouldn't you have seen it by now? So sorry if I'm going to spoil it for you. So the movie is all about just how it's a satire on how ridiculously stupid our leaders are, and how ridiculously stupid most humans are actually. So in the movie, she was talking about how the leaders in power are not even as smart as we give them credit for. They're not even as powerful or as nefarious or as I'm just paraphrasing here. They're not even as like, you know how we always think, you know how we always like imagine that leaders in power are these like intelligent people with evil minds, and they just want to like fuck everything up. No, they're not even that. They're too stupid to be like, they're too stupid to be stupid. You understand? So the leaders in power, they're just dumb. They're just dumb. Like they're just outright, basically the blueprint. Their blueprint is just dumbness. And so when they find themselves in that seat of power, it's like they almost cannot believe that they are there, and so they don't know what to do. So they just like they don't know what to do basically. So imagine someone like Tinubu now. I'm going back to Nigeria now. Imagine someone like Tinubu now saying that he wants to be president because it's his turn. Like, you want to be president because it's your turn? Who says that? How does that even make any sense? Someone who wants to be president should want to be president because they want to like strengthen the economy of the country. They want to like focus on creating more job opportunities, creating infrastructure, reducing crime, upgrading education, like fixing police system. Do you understand? Like just fixing things that are wrong with the country, fixing things that are. That's why leaders are supposed to exist. Because if you think of how it used to be back in the old days, like back in time, tribes used to have leaders because the leaders were competent in making decisions and making laws and fixing things that were wrong in the tribe, or fixing things that were wrong in the community, and also appointing people that were appropriate for war. Do you understand? And assigning like lands that people can farm on, and cattle rearers can graze their sheep and their cattle and everything can graze on, like, and then just making laws. Do you understand? And to keep the tribe like safe basically. So then compare it to where we are right now, where somebody is saying that he wants to be a leader, he wants to be the president of Nigeria because it's his turn. How does that even begin to make sense? And and it, to to think that there are Nigerians that are still supporting this person because of some one thing or the other. Right now, the one that is going on now is that the Yorubas that are mostly indigenous to Lagos State are now like being xenophobic towards the Igbos, and saying that the Igbo, like, they now started burning down markets and shops that are supposedly owned by Igbos. Like, this is the same thing. This is just, I don't know if I'm going to call this an anti-Semitism, because I know that anti-Semitism is primarily related to hate, against hate on the Jews, right? So, but I don't know any other word to use to describe this kind of thing. And so I'm just going to call it anti-Semitism, because because this is what happened during World War Two, right? When it's not even during World War Two, self, during what's his name, Stalin's time, when he was like convincing the, is it the I don't even know how to pronounce it, the Bolsheviks, that convincing the people that the landowners were like evil, and they were hoarding all the money and hoarding all the food and stuff. And so he convinced like these few bad apples to go and destroy the landowners and kill or and burn all their stuff and like take everything. And so this was how wait, which country was, I've forgotten, Russia, not Russia. This was how, yeah, Russia basically, or Ukraine, sorry, USSR. This was how Ukraine, like, is it 10 million people? This was how 10 million people starved to death in Ukraine, because one man convinced a very few, as in a group of people, that the people that were contributing to the progress of the country, he convinced them that they are evil, and they had to be like taken out. And these few people successfully took out farmers. Imagine imagine hating on farmers. Like, imagine this is also the same thing going on. I think I read it's in Germany, right? Imagine hating on it in Germany, bro. Right? If I'm correct. Imagine hating on farmers. Like, imagine saying that farmers should saying that farmers are evil, right? And then convincing people, as in, even like I always talk about these I always talk about the five levels of human development that what's his name, Scott Adams talks about in his book God Debris. Yes, I can understand that there are people that are not intellectually as that are not intellectually as developed as other people, right? And so these are the people that are usually used as pawns and thugs to like cause chaos and havoc in societies. Yes, but but just imagine that. So this is what is going on in Nigeria right now, where there are Yoruba people that are being used by the government in Nigeria, the current government in Nigeria, to cause a kind of loggerhead and chaos and like xenophobia towards Igbo people. And then they're saying that it's the Igbo people that are the problem. Like, they're just trying to like create division. And I cannot for the love of me understand how people cannot see that this is a game. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand how you, as a Yoruba person, will think that an Igbo man is the cause of your downfall. Like, how blind are you, or how deep in the dark are you, that you cannot like see that you're being used? As in, I don't want to say this time around. I don't want to say that this is as a result of your lack of intellectual human development. I don't want to say that this part of the problem is just outright stupid, people that are people that are like actually hating on Igbos, Yoruba people that are actually hating on Igbos and saying that they're the problem in Nigeria and then going about and burning their shops and stuff are actually objectively stupid. And I don't there are some kind of things that some people do that don't deserve forgiveness. I don't know if I'm being correct, or I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense, or if what I'm saying is supposed like is is supposed to be said. Like there are some kind of people that are so stupid that w- the things that they do is like you when you see the things that they do, you're like, how did you how, how did you live this long? Like how did you live this long? So the Yoruba people that are fighting or like destroying Igbo people's property in Lagos and burning down their markets and like just causing havoc and pandemonium is crazy. It's crazy to me, and it shows that we will never we will never get out. I don't know. It shows that we will never get out of this mess because if there are people if there are people like this that still exist, how 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 are we supposed to progress? That is basically what I'm saying. If there are people like this that still exist, how are we supposed to progress? Well, like I always say, I don't know. I always like have answers to the questions that I sometimes I have answers to the questions that I give. Education, and how are you going to like how are you going to educate these people if there is an actual good government that comes in? Because like I keep saying, okay, right now, president the current president fucking Buhari is saying that he's insisting that Tinubu is the president. Like Tinubu is like is the right candidate. That's what this fucking bastard is saying. I saw it on Twitter. He's saying that uh he the election stands. Meanwhile, meanwhile so far, um with what has been going on in the court so far, the evidence has been clear so far that it's been Peter Obi that has had most of the votes and basically won the election. But because what's his fucking name, Buhari is, believe it or not, Tinubu's pawn, because there's this video I saw of Tinubu celebrating his fucking his celebrating his fake victory, and then the people that were around him were one of the people around him was like was his name, one of the people around him was Buhari. And Buhari, imagine, just think of Buhari was looking like a just imagine someone like a very A-list celebrity, like one of these A-list celebrities, right? And they usually have their entourage, right? And so like in one of the people in the entourage would not they won't be that well known, obviously, because they're just there to like, I don't know. But that is just how Buhari looked like in that video. He was just so out of place and so little there. So but but then and that's just to show you how powerful this Tinubu is, right? That's just to show you how powerful is that he can control the narrative, and he can control the president of a country. So so Buhari now is saying that the election still stands, even though people are like in the Supreme Court, like asking them to either asking INEC to either provide the original election results or cancel the election entirely. You understand? So that's what's going on right now in Nigeria. But Buhari does not, because Buhari is this guy's fucking slave and his pawn. He does not want to allow that, because he knows that if he allows that, then if he allows, even in the previous election, it was rigged. and Buhari won, right? It was rigged so that Buhari will win. And I can remember there's this video I saw of him in the previous election when they asked him what if he doesn't win, and he said that he's going to win, right? And then he won, obviously, because back then Nigerians were not as, I know that this word has been tainted and soiled, and its meaning has been like desecrated and like changed. But Nigerians were not woke back then. So, but right now, Nigerians are alert. Nigerians are like a lot wiser now, and so nobody will, as in, they have. It's unbelievable, and it's also commendable that Nigerians are fighting this thing tooth and nail, because everybody knows that the alternative is Tinubu. And then there's this video I'm seeing online now that there is like a slideshow of Saddam Hussein and like Bashar al-Assad and Kim Jong Un, and because like let me say like for example now Saddam Hussein like got in when he was being elected, he got like 100% of the votes, and also Bashar al-Assad got like 97% of the votes, and Kim Jong Un got like 100% of the votes. So like they're now superimposing it on Peter Obi that because he got like because Peter Obi has gotten like 95% of the votes, that he's going to be like all these other dictators. But the person like people have to understand that like all these people are dictators, and then their elections were, even though it sounded democratic, or in fact for example now in let me say somewhere like in North Korea now, I don't think the election was democratic. I don't think so. I don't think somewhere like in I don't think somewhere like in Iraq or in Syria, like their elections are democratic. Yeah, it might seem like it's democratic, but but obviously, for example, okay, like somewhere like in Cameroon now, like our next door neighbor in Nigeria, Cameroon, where their president has like ruled for almost 36 years, and yet they still claim that their elections are democratic. That is not democratic, that is autocratic. If somebody has ruled one country for 36 years, then it's not democratic now. So the people that are superimposing all these dictators on Peter Obi and saying that Peter Obi is going to be like them, or Peter Obi is going to be like all these dictators, fail to like either they are dishonest or they are stupid, because first of all, Peter Obi is not a dictator. Um, secondly, Nigeria is a democratic nation. I used to think that Nigeria no longer has democracy. I used to think that, but right now, the fact that we are fighting for the truth, the fact that um we still have the ability to fight for the truth, we still have the freedom to fight for the truth, we still have like we're still able to at least contest and to contend for the outcome of this election. You understand? We're still able to contest it. The fact that we have that, means that Nigeria is still a democratic nation, and if we don't do that, then Nigeria is going to turn from, because I don't believe that this person that they call the Jagaban of Lagos, this fucking Tinubu, I don't believe that he's going to want to leave. But I feel like this man is the kind of person that if he enters power, he's going to like change a lot of things to ensure that he remains in power for like an indefinite amount of time, even till he dies. Do you understand? So no, Peter Obi is not like a fucking dictator. He does not want to be a dictator. He doesn't seem like a dictator. And but the person that is supposed to be in that video is not even supposed to be Peter Obi. He's supposed to be Tinubu. Because see, I'm not even being a hater. I'm not like this. No, I'm not even being tribalistic. I'm just like stating the fact that everybody like how are people not able to see that this person is evil? Like how I keep asking myself that question. How are you not able? How are you not able to see that this person that people are voting for is evil? And the people that are voting for him, the people that are actually voting for Tinubu, are people that are just being tribalistic. People that are just using tribalism to as in people that are just using tribalism to pump themselves up. I've seen there's another video that I saw that the people that voted for APC that were paid to vote for APC, the people that were paid, just imagine, there are people that were being paid to vote for APC, like, and they promised them, like, in my previous episode I talked about people that they promised and told them that they should vote for APC, and then they should, like, submit their names. They're going to pay them money. So these people are now like these people have now gone back to wherever it is that they are asked to, like, come, so that they can pay them their money, like, as in, it's, see, bro, it's funny, it's funny that there are people that were being, like, they sold their votes on credit. It's actually really funny. They sold their votes on credit. They sold their votes on credit, and now they've gone back to collect their money. And it's, if you see the video, in the video you see them, they are all like camped out. I don't know what office that place is. Like, all of them, mostly women, and I don't know why women are just so gullible. I don't know why women are just so fucking gullible. Well, well, mostly women and some men there, and all of them are just like outside, waiting to collect the money that they were supposedly promised. How crazy is that? How mad is that, bro? And the sad part is that most of these people are, in fact, not even most of them, from the video, from what I could hear in the video, most, they were not even speaking English, they were speaking mostly Yoruba. So most of these people are Yorubas, and I just want everybody to understand that this, the situation going on right now is not it's not supposed to be between Yorubas and Igbos. It's supposed to be between the APC politicians and the rest of Nigeria, because these are the people that are the instigators. These are the people that are controlling, and that, like, they are the ones that are just like stirring the pots and causing all the problems. And then they are the ones that are trying to put everybody, cause, as in, make the Yorubas fight the Igbos. It's not like Yoruba people. It's not like Yoruba people can fight too. It's not that they can fight or anything, or it's not that if they are, as in, bro, it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. You're not supposed to, like, I cannot just understand how people cannot see that they are being used. Like, for example, if someone that is intelligent is trying to, like, manipulate someone that is trying to manipulate an averagely smart person, you understand, an average human being, I mean, you can figure it out by yourself. But how dumb do you have to be? Like, what kind of ulterior motive, or should I say, what kind of bitterness have you been, like, harboring in your heart for who knows how long, for you to agree that, yes, the problem that you're going through in your state is caused by, it's not caused by the fucking Agberos or Aburus that report back to Tinubu. It's not even caused by the government of Lagos State. It's not even caused by the federal government of Nigeria that are corrupt. It's not even caused by the politicians. The problem is that you're going through in your state is caused by Igbos. Like, how dumb do you have to be? So this is what is going on right now in Nigeria, man. This is how far, this is like, this is the update of the saga, the dramatic election saga that is going on in Nigeria. I don't know. There's not even this is not even what I want to talk about, because as in, it's depressing. It's depressing and it's sad that okay, now I'm hearing now that in the next this coming governorship election, many people are now saying that they are not going to go back to vote. No, you're not supposed to not go back to vote. You're not supposed to not try again because you failed the first time. See, this is, I don't know why. See, like I said this in my previous episode. Like, did we actually expect that a place in Nigeria, like a place like somewhere like Nigeria, or where, like, as in, the corruption, like, has filled the cup. The corruption in Nigeria is filled with, somewhere like Nigeria that is filled with corruption, Did you actually did we actually think that did we actually think that this election is going to go smoothly, and then that there will not be any problems, like there will not be any rigging, or there will not be any like just faults and flaws, that everybody will just vote for Peter Obi, and then they will announce him the winner and everything will just go smoothly? Is it what we actually thought? No. Obviously this was bound to happen, and all the whole pastors that are using this as this was a no-brainer. Actually, it's so much of a no-brainer that pastors are still using it as prophecy. Pastors are prophesying. Pastors, there's this pastor, this video of this pastor I saw, that he prophesied that, oh, one person, he wasn't even really that specific, he was just saying that one person is going to win, and but he's not going to be given the he's not going to be declared the winner, and then they're going to go to court. Like, bro, what are you saying, man? This is what do they even call it? A self-fulfilling prophecy. So this is not a prophecy. People should stop deceiving. I don't know why these pastors are still here doing nonsense. People should go home and sleep. Stop deceiving yourself. So, but what I'm trying to say is that this was bound to happen. This was bound to happen, and the fact that it's taking too long it's taking too long to achieve victory doesn't mean that we're not going to achieve victory, right? So Nigerians should not like give up, just give up like that, because they are feeling like their votes don't count. No, the very fact that we are fighting this stuff right now, and everybody's like all hands on deck and fighting this stuff and calling all these all these corrupt politicians out, shows that our votes count. You understand? So in this next coming election now, that is on the 18th, um that is on the 18th, right? Nigerians still have to go out again and show, like, and like kind of like reinforce their whole belief and their whole efforts, and show that yes, they are really prepared for this change. They are really prepared that to like for a different Nigeria. Do you understand? So people should not just go back home and just like give up like that. It does not make any sense. You cannot just go back home and just give up and say, oh, because we voted last time and nothing happened and we're fighting, we are not going to vote this time around. It does not make sense. So that is basically that's basically what's going on in Nigeria. I just feel like like I said before, it's depressing. It's depressing, and I don't want. I mean, this my podcast is supposed to be about me just like being drunk and then being high and just talking about things that I find interesting, and things that and things that I find, just basically things I find interesting. But now I'm now like becoming a fucking political commentator. I don't want to be a political commentator. Like, we have so many of those already. People that are so quick on their feet, and they just know all the talking points, and they just know what to say at any given time, and just know like the right thing, or the seemingly right things to say. That is not me, man. I just want to like smoke and get so high and talk about aliens, fucking space, and fucking, I don't know, man. That's just what I want to do. Even though like it's kind of fascinating that myself, I've not even like throughout this month I said I was not going to smoke. So yeah, probably next, I don't know, man, I don't know, but I said I was not going to smoke this month, right? And so far I've kept to my word. So, and I like the fact that my word is my bond. And but it's getting not that it's getting difficult, or not that it's getting increasingly hard. It's just that I just want I just want it to be that anytime I'm recording, or anytime I'm like recording for an episode, like I just want to be, happy. I just want to be happy and just up there and just like ranting and not even able to remember the things I said like a few seconds back. I just want to like talk shit and just talk rubbish. But right now, me now just talking about the whole problem going on in Nigeria. This will be the last time. Hopefully, this will be the last time that I talk about the bullshit that is going on in Nigeria. I just want to talk about aliens. I just want to talk about space guns. I want to talk about movies. Speaking of movies, right? I always talk about. I've said this before. Um, we all know how like diluted and how fucking um reluctant that movies have become. You understand? Like I remember when Marvel movies used to be so um like you used to look forward to watching a Marvel movie, right? Like for example now Iron Man or um well anyone I don't know, Spider Man or whatever. We used to look forward to watching them, but now they are the rate of like there's so many of them right now, and also they are not the quality has declined, the quality has reduced. So this new Ant-Man movie that just came out now is just subpar, and like I always like to use the word stale and insipid. Like there's so much more that you could have done, like so much more, so much more. You could have added so much more spice to the story. You- it's just dry. I don't know, man. It's just dry, and I feel like whatever, see, whatever money touches, like when when I feel like everybody starts from a point of creativity. Like you just want to like be creative, and you just want to like put your content out there. Like let's say if you're a musician and you love music, or you're a singer or a rapper and you love like putting out, creating content stuff, you start from a place of doing it because you love doing it, right? Or let's say if you're an artist and you paint or you draw or you sculpt, everybody usually starts from a place of creativity. Do you understand? And then when they now start getting notoriety, when they now start getting should I say accolades, when they start getting like um recognized for the work that they do, and then investors now start coming in, I feel like it takes the grace of God for you to not fall for it, because whatever money touches soils it. Do you understand? Whatever money touches, it just soils it, just fucks it up. Like for let me just use one example now. Let's say someone like what's his fucking name? Quentin Tarantino now. He makes the best movies, right? His movies are always quality movies. He tells good stories, the cinematography is epic, everything is just like um everything is just excellent, right? He doesn't do it half-heartedly. And then compare it to the current state of Marvel movies now, or should I say, let's not even say Marvel movies, compare it to the current state of fucking Disney movies, right? Like, remember when back then Disney movies used to be iconic? For example, Little Mermaid, Winnie the Pooh, Tarzan, like all the whole Beauty and the Beast, everything about Mulan, like Disney movies used to be so fucking like when you're watching a Disney movie like Lion King, everything was just like iconic and classic and memorable, and just like you loved all the characters. All the characters had like um they were rich characters. All the characters had rich in the sense that they are not shallow. I've forgotten the word I'm supposed to use. Like rich in the sense that the characters are what is that word now that they usually use now to describe characters? Like, well, every character, like as in every character is like what is that fucking word now? Every character is fleshed out, every character is complex, every character is like as in thought out. Do you understand? They're not just like fucking heaped. I don't know. They're not cheap. You understand? Every Disney character back then used to be thoughtful, and they were they were well written. But now everything, like I was talking about how distorted the word woke has become. Right now everything is woke now. Everybody just wants to be um every most of these corporations now want to be inclusive, and they want to be fucking uh liberal. Now the new what is it called, the new Peter Pan movie that's coming, and see bro, one of my favorite characters ever, one of my favorite, not even one of my favorites, my favorite character ever, my favorite cartoon character ever is Peter Pan. My favorite story ever, like ever, is Peter Pan, because it talks about this place where you can go to, where you never get old, where you never grow you're just a kid forever, you're just living in this wonderland, and you're just, I don't know, you're just being a boy. Because for a very long time I was drawn to that idea, or should I say that I just for a very long time I was drawn to that idea of being Peter Pan and just being a kid forever, right? And not bothering about growing up, even though growing up is inevitable. And so, yes, I loved that story. I love that concept. I love that ideology, and I was trying and I was living up to it. It was kind of detrimental to me because growth is inevitable, and if you don't want to grow, there will be consequences to choosing not to grow. Yes, it was detrimental to me, but that was why I loved Peter Pan, right? But I just loved it. But but now Peter Pan has gone woke, where fucking Tinkerbell is black. What the fuck, man? Tinkerbell is black. Wendy is like this guts, moody as fucking weird as teenager that is able to fight pirates, and she's bro. Compare Wendy, the Wendy that we all know, and how like motherly and how like should I say reserved and feminine she is, to the, I don't know if you've seen the trailer for, if you've seen the trailer for the new Peter Pan. It's just cool. Sorry, I mean not cool. It's just odd. It's just weird. Like the new Wendy is like, why why do you exist? So the whole aspect, the whole creative aspect to it is dead, basically dead. And then this other one, the new Little Mermaid movie that is coming out, that Little Mermaid is also black. Imagine that they make a new movie, like let's say, imagine that they make a new movie like Roots. Everybody has seen Roots, right? And then they use white characters. They interchange the white characters, and then turn them. Sorry, they interchange the black characters and then turn them white. Imagine how outraged and how insulting that would be, right? So why are we happy that why are we happy, why are black people happy that there is a black Little Mermaid? Little Mermaid is not black. Ariel was never black. First of all, yes, okay, yes, it's a non-fictional story, right? But the characters from the source material were originally white. So why not stick to that source material? Why not tell the story according to how it was originally told? You understand? So why are you changing everything because you want to be inclusive? Like, okay, for example, now in Lord of the Rings, now the new Lord of the Rings series that Amazon put out, we have black characters we have black elves, we have black dwarves, we have black fucking, I don't know, man. Like every in the original even in the book, in the original Lord of the Rings trilogy, everybody was white because it was mainly an a story that took place in like a fantastical European era where everybody was white. The person that wrote the book wrote it because and made all his characters white because everybody around him back then was white. Do you understand? So why will you not gonna start adding black people because you want to be inclusive and you want to be woke? Like everything that money touches like loses its value. Even though that sounds should I say redundant, or should I say, even though that sounds redundant, basically counterintuitive, that's the word I am looking for. Even though that sounds counterintuitive, everything that money touches, every creative thing that money touches loses its value. Because people, when you want to do something and like you're doing it because you love doing it, and then maybe you now start, like I said before, you now start getting noticed for it, and then you now want to be supported, like investors want to support you. It takes the grace of God to for you to not fall for it. For example, now I was talking about Quentin Tarantino before, right? He's one of the examples of sticking to being creative, right? Instead of just like doing it for the money, basically. So um it's like I said, now it really takes the grace of, should I say, the grace of God for people for creative people not to for and okay, another thing I want to say again is that if you're doing it for the money, like let's say for example now, yes, yes, let me, okay, hold on, let me just like let me land everything we are doing, right? Even though you're a creative person, if you're a singer, if you're an artist, if you're a sculptor, if you're an engineer, anything, everything that we're doing it to an extent, we are doing it because we want to like get some form of um payment for it and some form of notoriety and praise. But for the most part, we do it because we want to make money out of it, right? So um let me give you one example. Like we have like this whole podcast thing now, right? This whole podcast thing. Um, most people, we have like 5 million podcasts, 5 million, and most people that get into podcasts get into it not because they like talking about issues or they like talking about things that they find interesting, or they like talking about like things that are going on in the world, things that are happening in the world. Most people that get into podcasting um get into it uh because it turns out that having a podcast you can get paid making podcasts. It turns out that you can get money from it, you can make it a career, right? Because if you think of it if you think of it really, podcasting is just people sitting like at the end of the day, right? When let me say for example now, back then now, right, we used to grade men by how much they did, right? Like going out hunting for food, going to war, like being masculine, being macho and stuff. But now that was what we considered that was what we considered um jobs back then, right? Farming, creating stuff, making stuff, and like things that you earned money from, things that you got what's the word I'm looking for now, things that you got. I don't know, bro. My brain is just clouded. I've been gaming all day. I've been gaming all day, man. So things that you got I've forgotten the word, bro. Let's just move on. So that was how we used to like grade men back then, right? You go to war, like, or you farm, or you like you herd your cattle, and you create stuff, and you build like monuments, and you build beautiful sculptures and stuff. So that was how they used to make money back then, or you go to your job. But these days now, men now how men are making money is like they sit down and they talk shit and they talk rubbish and they basically gossip. Like let me just say, I know that Joe Rogan was like a comedian before before he's more of a comedian than a podcaster, even though these days people see him more of a podcaster than a comedian. But and I love his podcast. Like his podcast is the best in the world, obviously, and I love listening to his podcast. But so I'm not going to like talk shit about it. So let's keep it aside. Let's talk about some. Let's talk. Let me just use another example. Something like everybody loves Andrew Schultz, right? This comedian, but I don't like his podcast because I don't like his podcast is chaotic, and it just seems fake to me. Not fake in the sense that he's faking it, but fake in the sense that, like for example now, um, when like he because he does it with like some of his friends, right? And then sometimes they invite guests. Um, when they are talking, like they always say yeah, 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 yeah. Like when he everything, they always like they always immediately agreeing with him. Like if he's trying to say something, you'll be hearing yeah, 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 and with some weird ass fucking laughing in the background, and it's annoying. Like why are you people fucking laughing in the background? Like what he's saying is not even that funny. He's a funny person. He's a funny comedian. I love his comedy, I love when he's on stage, like bashing people and talking talking shit to people, and he makes usually in his during when he's like his beats make a lot of sense, but his fucking what's it called? His podcast is just annoying, and it's just like they're not doing it because I'm not going to okay. Let's divide it into doing it for the creativity and doing it for the money into 50-50. I feel like he's doing it more for the money because he's this like influential person and famous person than doing it because he likes doing it. Do you understand? I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So yeah, most these days now, like the world of podcasting now, many people are doing it because they feel like they can get money from it and they can earn a living from it. Um, and it's easy and it's just effortless and you just sit down and you talk shit. That's why we have a lot of like I don't know. There's this podcast that's blowing up right now, called the Whatever Podcast, where this guy talks with like dumb, like legitimately dumb ass females, and he because he thought like there's this saying, in the world of the blind, the leader is a one-eyed man. I don't know I don't know if I said that correctly, but I'm sure you get the point. So to to, to like in everybody in that room, like to us he seems to be like the most intelligent because these girls that he usually interviews, and I don't know why he's always interviewing girls, these girls that he usually interviews are just like just daft. They're just empty upstairs. So it's not like it's not anything special. It's just that he seems to be the most reasonable person. And when somebody and when you put that like on camera and everybody else that is supposedly reasonable is watching it, yeah, it's going to blow up because people will obviously agree with you because most people are I like to believe that most people are reasonable, so people are obviously going to agree with you. So yeah, that is just what I'm saying. When money enters, like when money touches something, it soils it. When money touches creativity, money soils creativity basically. That's what I'm trying to say. Money soils creativity. And so if you're doing something, if you're somebody that's creative, if you're somebody that's likes to create stuff, either it's content or art or music or sculpting or like just doing stuff that is productive and doing stuff that is tangible and brings some kind of emotion to humanity, um I feel like just do it, just keep doing it, even though it might like okay. There's this there's this the concept of starving artists where people okay yes, and also the it can also go another way. It can also go the other way where people who claim to be creative don't want to accept money because then they will feel like they're selling out. Do you understand? Yeah. It can also go the other way around. Like there are people who would willingly want to sell out, and then there are people who would not want to sell. And do you know do you know the funny part? The people who are claiming to be creative that don't want to sell out are usually actually not that creative. That's just the truth about it. They're usually not that creative, and so because they're not getting that much attention, and they're not getting that much should I say just attention and support and like fucking accolades and stuff. They will now start pretending that the reason why they are not the reason why they are not making in money from it is because they don't want to make money from it, and also it's because they want to continue being the person that they are, like these creative savants that they are, whatever. These fucking weird as what they call them, starving artists. So yeah, that's basically. I don't know, man. I don't know how long I've talked for almost an hour now. So yeah, money solves creativity, and don't allow if you're a genuinely creative person, don't allow. I'm not saying that you should not accept money for your, or you should not accept like um what is the word safer, bro? My brain is just messed up right now, so I cannot think well. So I'm not saying I should not accept money for your creativity, but don't allow money to like be the focus or be the major factor of why you're being creative. So to Hollywood now, now that Hollywood has like messed up and Hollywood is now like, I don't know, I don't even know what they're chasing anymore. Like I don't know what they're chasing. You have, I'm sure that the Hollywood industries, like Hollywood film industries, in like so wealthy, and so I don't think it's money that they're chasing, and I don't know what they're chasing. Because why won't you tell good stories? Like why can't you tell? There's this, okay, the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that's coming out. As in, look at how bold, like tell good stories, take, be brave and tell bold stories, like be creative. Creativity is all about being, doing something different and doing something new. And like if you're doing, if you're doing if you're someone that knows how to do backflips, right? You do like 10 backflips at once, people will hail you, right? And then you do it again. Like if there are 100 people watching you, like 90% of them again will still hail you. And then you do the same backflip again, like this time around 50% will hail you. Like if you keep telling, if you're a comedian and you keep telling the same old jokes, like if you tell it the first time, a lot of people will laugh. If you tell it the second time, not many people will laugh as much as they did the first time. If you tell it again the third time, like everywhere will be silent, right? So creativity is all about evolution, it's all about changing, it's all about being better, like um honing in on your skills and like just doing it in a lot better way, not doing it the same old way. Do you understand? So so now that um Nollywood, should I say not Nollywood, sorry, Hollywood, even Nollywood self, even Nollywood self, they're still doing the same thing that they've been doing for thousands of years. God, why is it that Nollywood is still doing like? Are you telling me that there are no, as in, I know I've talked about this before, but are you telling me that there are no like what they call them, makeup art, like creative makeup artists, or should I say digital artists or animators and stuff? Why is that Nollywood movies are still people shouting, people shouting and over expressing and being like just doing like, I just saw there's this movie, there's this not even that I saw it, or not even that I was watching it, or I just came across this clip of a Nollywood movie where two people, two supposedly rich people, were, oh well, yeah, because obviously the way you will know that they are rich is because they're in flashy cars, and so they stop in front of, like they were both driving on the same streets and coming towards each other, and then they stopped in front of each other because one did not, they didn't like, they, one did not want the other one to pass the road, because one did not want the other one to have the right of way. And so like they both come out of, the two women come out of the car, and then they're like, do you know who, like that's what Nollywood still is. Is that what Nollywood still is? Meanwhile, we have movies like, for example, now one of my favorite movies, I know it's going to be fucked up for me to say what I'm about to say. One of my favorite movies is The House That Jack Built by Lars von Trier. And anybody that, I urge everybody to go and watch the movie The House That Jack Built. It's not for everybody. The movie is not for everybody, right? You, if you cannot stomach if you cannot stomach like or how will I put it, brutality, and if you cannot stomach just pure evil, I will advise you not to watch the movie, because the movie is just brutal. So that's all I'm going to say about the movie. So there's no like Nigerian creativity, there's no boldness in it. They don't take giant strides. Nollywood does not take giant strides, either because there is no investment, like there are not a lot of people investing in the movie Nollywood industry, or either because of that, or is it because we don't have good storytellers? I cannot believe that we don't have good storytellers. I cannot believe that. Um But yeah, that's apparently what's going on in Hollywood. But as for let's go back to Hollywood. That's what we're talking about. As for Hollywood, I feel like they've lost their touch. And yes, I know that there are still directors in Hollywood and storytellers in Hollywood that are still like trying their best to tell good stories and stick to how movies used to be and stick to what movies are supposed to mean to us in the real world. I know that there are still people like that, but for the most part, like if you go online now, just rubbish that you're seeing online. Like most of these new trailers that are coming out, like when I just see like the first few seconds, sorry about that, the first few seconds of the trailer, I just feel like disappointed and I just stop watching. So yeah, I don't think there's any more I can say concerning anything. My brain is filled to the brim. Like I've been playing Warzone for like for like how many hours now, and anytime I game for a very long time, I start having headache. Depends on the game anyway. But if you're chasing like real, like if you're playing online, you're supposed to have headache, bro. You're supposed to have headache. So anyway, yeah, that's all I can say for now. That's all I can be able to put out for now for today. Thank you guys for listening and sticking with me for this long. Um, I always talk about you. I always talk about not. I always talk about not forgetting to like rate the podcast and also follow me on Twitter at General Prime One, and also send me an email. Yeah, so I'll leave all the descriptions. I'll leave everything in the description, and also like I talked about. I just said I've been playing Warzone all day. And so I just started like uploading my gameplay on YouTube. So you can also follow me on YouTube. Also General Prime One. So yeah. That's all. That's all I have for today. I've talked about the saga that is going on, the continuous saga going on in Nigeria. I've talked about what I really why I really want to why I really like doing my podcast, because I just want to like talk shit, smoke and get high and talk shit. And also I've talked about the death of creativity. And that's it. That's everything I have to say for today. I've actually not had I just remembered now that I've actually not eaten anything today. So I have to go and look for what to eat. And yeah, thank you guys for sticking with me and giving me your listening ears. And I'll talk to you guys next week. All right, bye everybody.